Welcome to the Cultivation Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Hamill, and this week, this season 5, we are talking about words to live by. That's our theme, that's our guide, and I am pumped about this word because it makes us come alive, it helps us in our purpose, it helps us in so many things, and it is the word service. So let's get into it. Now, I don't know about you, but when you think about the word service, what does that mean? There's a lot of images that come up to our mind. Maybe it's a military word. In my family, I have a lot of military heritage. I'm very proud of that. I'm very thankful for that. But a lot of times we would use that term, oh, are you going into the service? Because that is community service or serving our country, serving our humanity that way, serving our freedom, that sort of thing. And so literally the idea is I'm putting my life on the line for the service of freedom and America. That is how I grew up using the word going into service. And then as I got older, I got my first job. I went into the service industry. So one of my very first jobs, you may or may not know this, which I don't know why you would, but I worked at a fast food restaurant. Won't say which one because I don't think I'm allowed to legally. I'd have to pay them or something like that. But nonetheless, worked at a fast food restaurant, and I was in the service industry. A lot of times when it comes to food or any kind of a waiter or waitress, those kinds of things, it's a service industry. Anyone that is waiting upon another person, right? And so maybe you get an idea of Batman with, his butler. And why can't I think of his name right now? Maybe I'll ask my producers to throw me the word of Alfred. Alfred, yeah. I don't know why I drew a blank there because I love Batman. But Alfred is in the service industry. He's serving another person, right? And then when it comes to later on in my life, later on in my career, if you will, I, for a long time, have been in vocational ministry, pastoral ministry, those kinds of things where I'm giving my life to awaken other people. And so I'm serving them, serving our community, serving people's vision and passion and awakening them. And with that, it takes service to a different level, at least in me, in my own personal life. And so this word, this idea of service and how are we serving one another and how are we serving people, it's a very powerful concept that I wanted to bring today because I really believe that for not just America, forget about politics, forget about country borders or anything like that, but we are all part of the human journey, the human story. Whatever our race, nationality, gender, whatever our political beliefs, whatever our religious beliefs are, we are built in such a way to serve one another. And in fact, what brings powerful meaning and purpose and value to our lives, I keep bumping my microphone because I'd like to talk with my hands. What brings value and meaning and purpose to our life is our service to other people. And so let's say it's the barista at the coffee shop. I just had coffee not that long ago. And so whether it's the coffee shop, whether it's the fast food restaurant or the waiter or the waitress, whether it's the person that's rounding up the shopping carts at whatever store you go to for your groceries, whether it's the trash person, whether it's the judge sitting on the bench, whether it's the doctor, you name the profession, right? Your insurance agent, all of these things, where they fit into society and culture and get their value for all of us is how we serve each other. So why would I bring up this word? Because I believe part of your destiny, part of your purpose, part of my destiny, part of my purpose, part of our awakening, part of cultivating and digging up those things and awakening those things in our lives is understanding that you and I have gifts, talents, and ability to serve others, that our value is in bringing value to others and investing in others, right? And so you've heard me talk about this before in other seasons and other episodes, and in my book, we talk about this, finding our community because we bring value, we need one another. And here's what I know, that our destiny, our purpose cannot be lived out or fulfilled by anyone else. And so I'm very much aware of the fact that I'm dependent upon you. Wherever you're at, I know you might think that's really insane and a little crazy, but we are all interconnected in this human story, in this human journey, in this thing called life. We're interconnected. And when you are awakened and I am awakened to our purpose, our mission, our frequency that we're supposed to be living on, right, and serving one another, it makes every single one of us rise to the next level. It makes every one of us better. You make me better. Just like I believe and hope you find this to be true, that I make you better. And that's not meant in an arrogant kind of a way. It's just saying that to truly embrace this, you go, no, I have gifts that can serve humanity, that can awaken humanity, that can cultivate mission, purpose, and value in others. And so in my circle of people, this is a statement that we say often, right? That we need to be more interested in others than interesting, right? And so I make it my mission, my goal, my objective is to go, how can I be interested in you? How can I hear your story? How can I serve your dreams, your purpose, your value? Because I know that that's where my gifts come alive. That's where my gifts are awakened. And why do we do this podcast? Why do we put out this book? Why do we have the guests that we've had from time to time on this show? Is because I am so passionate about this idea that we are built and made and called, if you will, to serve one another. Now, let me just back up and maybe calm down. I think veins are probably popping out of my neck because I get intense about this. This whole topic seems very counterintuitive to where society is, because we don't live in a service-minded world. We live in a selfish-minded world. And if you are around kids, if you have kids, or maybe your aunt or an uncle, or maybe whatever it is, you have friends who have kids, right? You don't have to be around them for very long, young babies, to find out that selfishness does not have to be taught, right? At our family Thanksgiving last year, we had two young kids, and they were like, "No, I don't want to share. No, I don't want to share." Now they were like 2 and under kind of a thing, and so they were having to negotiate. And so grown-ups, or the mature people, I'm not sure that my family's always in that category, but nonetheless, I'm not here to call us out on that. I'm just saying that the mature people step in and have to set the guidelines and the boundaries of, no, you have to not be selfish, but you have to serve or prefer one to another, right? You have to kind of give up your rights and go, no, I'm going to do this for someone else. I'm going to do this with someone else. I'm going to do this on behalf of someone else. And honestly, here is the thing that I have found to be true in my own heart and my own life, is that, one, I am way more valuable to people when I serve. I'm way more important in their lives. And not that that's the end goal. I mean, certainly it's not. But the truth is, we all like to be liked, and we all like to be needed, and we all like to be important to people. I mean, I heard this statement, maybe it was a meme I read or something like that, that our goal in life is to make as many people as possible sad when we die. Now, that's a pretty bleak outlook on life, right? That I'm not trying to see how many people I can make sad when I pass away, whenever that day is. But my goal is, honestly, how can I add value to as many people as possible? How can I add value to people that I just encounter for a moment? How can I add value to people that I encounter for a season? And obviously, the most important people to me is, how can I add value to those who I'm going to live this entire life with? And that starts with my family, right? And whether it's my household family, I have a wife and 2 daughters. Obviously, I want to add the most incredible value to them, but then even my extended family and those that we're a part of and connected with, right? How can I add value to them? How can I let them know they matter? They have gifts. How can I serve what their potential and possibilities are? Specifically, here's where service comes in the most. most people, not all, but most, I know I'm speaking generally here, don't see their own value. We don't tend to see or notice our own giftings right away. It usually requires someone else seeing them, identifying them, and then calling them out. And so that's why it's super important that we have mentors, we have coaches, and we have community around us, those kinds of things, because with that, we create these eyes that surround us that can identify things and go, oh, hey, you know what, Tom, I see you've got a talent there. Hey, you know what? I see you've got a gift there. You could use that to serve people. Really, I never thought of myself. And I will tell you, I'm calling myself out because maybe it's because I'm a guy. Maybe it's just because I'm stubborn. Maybe because whatever. I have always been usually the last one to identify my own giftings. One of our guests this season, his name's Doug Reed. He was my youth pastor when I was a teenager, right? And he had me speak publicly for the first time. I would have never done that unless he said, hey, I see this in you and you could serve people that way. And I was like, what? No way, dude. No way. But now here I am, an international speaker. I've spoken on almost every continent on the globe, just a couple more left, not very many. In fact, coming up, really getting ready to check the last few off the list. So I'll have all the continents on this planet done. It's going to be amazing. It's my bucket list. It's my adventure list, right? That sort of thing. But Tom, I think you could do this. Now I'm doing it around the globe. Tom, I think you could serve this way. Oh, now I'm doing it on a podcast. And we have viewers and listeners from the Philippines to the Middle East to all over the globe. We have people that are tuning in and watching this thing and thinking, wow, I'm really not that big of a deal, but maybe just leveraging my gifts to serve people is attractive, right? Because ultimately my motivation is I want to add value to people, and that is the service side of our mission purpose. Available today, my book, The Life You're Meant to Lead. It's finally here. It's finally available. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from our website, ourcultivatedlives.com. We got it in the tree version. We got it in the e-version. We got it in the audio version where I read the book by the author, The Life You're Meant to Lead, a powerful tool. Pick up your copy today. So, how do we kind of close this in? I know I'm all over the map, and I'm not trying to make it about me other than to give life examples of people. It's safe to call myself out on this stuff, right? And so I've needed people to identify my giftings, my potential, my possibilities. And even the book that is now out, by the way, it just came out in January of 2021. And so if you're listening to this, if you're watching this at any point into the future of when it was released, the book is now out. You can go to our website and pick it up. And I wrote the book literally to be a message of service to people, to awaken them to their possibility, their potential, and motivate them to serve one another. We need to serve each other and really find value in each other and look with a different set of eyes. So here's what I want to really leave you with. Service is less about an act and more about a mindset. And you're going to hear me talk about this a lot in this season when we talk about words to live by, that we put a mindset of service. We put an attitude of service. And who cares what the action is? Who cares who the person is that we're serving? Sometimes we serve people for our own ego, for our own sake, right? And so we go, oh, I want to serve somebody that's important. It would be a big deal to say, oh, I serve the president, or I serve a movie star, I serve a rock star, right? Those kinds of things. Oh, that'd be great. Sometimes we take the most needy people, right? Oh, we are serving the homeless. We're serving, and I'm not negating or knocking any of those kinds of things. I'm just saying, truly, to live by service, we need to understand that it's less about the doing and more about the mindset. Because when we have a mindset of service, when we have a lens of service that we're walking through life, it doesn't matter who the recipient is. It doesn't matter who we serve. Maybe we're serving people that no one else will see us serving. Maybe it's simply serving somebody by becoming a friend to someone who's alone or doesn't have a circle of friends, and so we serve them that way. Maybe we're serving somebody simply by, and I try to live in this practice personally. I don't always get it right by any means, so I'm calling myself out and trying to hold myself accountable by saying, this is what I want to do. That one of the simple things is when I walk up to the counter at Starbucks and I order, the first thing I try to do is before I jump into my order, I want a tall venti latte, blah, 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 right? Instead of rattling that off, I'm like, hello, how are you today? And I cannot tell you how many times just by me taking a quick pause and saying, how are you today? People are like, oh, thank you for asking. And then we go, okay, now let's get down to our exchange, right? Just, I see you and I want to serve you by saying I see you and I acknowledge you. That is a service mindset. Now, to you and I, that may sound really silly, really simplistic, and not matter. But to the one who seems unseen and unimportant, that means the world to them. And that is how we can serve people. So again, it's less about the doing and more about the mindset of service to people. It's more about that mindset of like, hey, I'm here to serve people. I'm here to add value to people. And so what I'm looking for through this Cultivation Podcast, what I'm searching for through the book and the resources that we're putting out is I want to build an army of people who are cultivating service into others. And we're going to talk about this because I'm working on this right now, but I want to be a cultivationist and I want to build an army of people who are cultivationists looking to add value into other people. But it starts with having a mindset of serving others. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening today. Thanks for being a part of this journey. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear if this is inspiring you or helpful to you or matters to you. We'd love to hear all those kinds of things. Also, we'd love to hear, how can we serve you? That's what we're trying to build, is a service platform. How can we serve you? And we've got tons of things that are coming down the pipe. I can't share them yet, but some big things are coming. So be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on that. You can go to our website, ourcultivatedlives.com, and you can sign up on our email list so that you get all this information firsthand directly to your inbox, because there are some major things coming. And as well, if you'll put in the comments, we read those, we respond to those, we share those, all those kinds of things. And then you hit the share button. Share this, add value to somebody else by sharing this kind of talk, this kind of mindset with your friends, your circles, those kinds of things. Tag me in it, and I'll correspond with those people as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for journeying with us on the Cultivation Podcast. Thanks for checking us out today. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the incredible content we have coming out. Also, we'd love to hear from you in the comments section. We read those, we respond to those as we journey together in the cultivated life.